And hello. I've waited so long to share this story, but I believe that now is a good time for me to encourage someone. So, you would always hear me say, I'm a New York lawyer. And I'm not saying this because I'm so full of myself or because I am arrogant and trying to smear it in your face. But every time I call myself a New York lawyer, I am reminded that with God, all things are possible. You see, today I'm a licensed lawyer in New York. But what you did not know is I did not study in a US-based law school. I remember what some guy told me just 4 weeks into my program at the law school in Korea. He said, Excel, you're wasting your time. Your degree will not be recognized. I was so disturbed by those words. Yet the word of God brought me consolation. I was consoled when I remembered the words that the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord. I held on to that. I knew that God had ordered me to Korea. And I went through 3 years of law school. When it was time to take the bar, I chose a path that no one else before me had. I chose to go through to take the New York bar exam after much research. All my classmates went another route. But there were so many people who called me and called my parents to say that it wasn't possible. There was no way I could pass. They said it was the hardest bar in the US. And even worse, that I had not studied in the US and I had not studied New York state law. They said the odds were against me and that it was going to be a waste of my parents' money. At this point, I had already registered for the exam. And so I came to this conclusion that I had only one option. My only option was to pass. So what did I do? I stopped considering failure as an option. In my mind, the only possibility was to pass the exam. It was either I passed or I passed. In my mind, I rehearsed and I visualized my success. I would daydream. I would listen to music. I would think about my success and smile in gratitude. I worked hard. I studied hard. I prayed hard. Some people will give you well-meaning advice and attempt to set your own boundaries based on their own experience. But as an adult, no one should set your boundaries. If someone else is setting your boundaries and telling you how far you can run or go, then consider yourself an inmate that takes, words from a correction officer. Recommendation and suggestions are always welcome, but what is not welcome is a prediction of your own success based on their own inabilities. I just want to encourage someone to trust your God, to trust the God in you, to believe in God and believe what He can do through you. Do not fear the loud swell of the wind. Trust God.